it's not a new term for us in the tech business. Everybody starts talking like I'm getting on the cloud and I'm sharing resources and so forth. Cloud's been here since 1960. You used them back in the day when you were doing telephone calls and long distance and shared services. It's not new. Basically, what happens on the cloud now is the client, which is your workstation. There's an application, could be an email program, a platform, an infrastructure, a server. That's about as much as you need to know about cloud in here today. And just the kinds of clouds that SMEs get into. You have your public cloud, which is internet. Your community cloud, which, for example, would be banking-to-banking transactions, which is an industry we'll talk about a little later. Hybrid cloud, which is shared, where the public meets the private. You might have a network at the office going out to the internet behind a firewall, and a private cloud, which is your own network. Some of the risks for SMEs in the public cloud would be security risk. Who controls the resources? How to prevent your data from being stolen? How to prevent unwanted eyes in from government or whatever coming in. Community cloud is the asset control. If you're sharing resources, who controls the asset? Hybrid cloud would be a compliance, abuse, and a hack. Your hybrid clouds are pretty scary, so just keep that in mind. And then the private cloud, which for most SMEs is getting less and less affordable as cost becomes an issue. A sample of the clouds are: your private cloud is, again, in your office building, on your premises, the public cloud, and your third-party cloud. Now, for us as an SME, what's the importance of social media? Social media, you hear it every day. The major thing you need to know about social media for tonight is that it interacts in two directions. What would be two directions? People would be tweeting up here with social media. You're able to interact with the website. That's all social media is. Some of the different examples of the social websites that I kind of like: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Flickr, and all the other stuff. As a business, a lot of us in the SME aren't deploying these technologies to our advantage. And what I mean by that is, if I would ask you guys, how many people, by show of hands, are using Flickr or even YouTube to make money, to show your product? I don't see anybody showing themselves up. Yet that's a free resource to the whole world. So kind of why we're showing you this tonight is say, what I see in the industry is when we go to talk to people, get them to think, I have all these resources, I have all the video sharing, I have all the internet, I have the LinkedIn, but I'm not making money on it. Yet why are we in business? Business. Right? So just consider that. And all these sites, again, this presentation will be on my website, so I'll let everybody download it. I like Twitter, for example, and I don't want you guys to be like this guy, but I see a lot. The old joke when I see in Indonesia is, in the old days when I used to travel to America, I could tell who was Indonesian by smoking kretek. That's the old joke. Now the new joke is who's using the BlackBerry. You can tell who's who. So, but I don't want you to be like this guy. But there's this very value that's hidden in Twitter and other things like it. If I have this again up here, it's 17 ways that every time I hear people talking about using Twitter, using Facebook, they say they don't have time to do it. But in under 5 minutes, you can market every service you got. If you just listen to some of these tips. For example, download a social media dashboard, Hootsuite or TweetDeck. Share your content early in the morning. And there's a whole bunch of tips out there. But again, some of the keys are Hootsuite or TweetDeck. Something that allows you to consolidate your tweets to all the platforms. If you're using LinkedIn, you're using Twitter, a lot of people aren't doing this, so they're wasting time. Now, just the way you don't want to use Twitter is sometimes plants are tweeting. For example, you don't want to be considered like that, where plants actually are, people check to see if the plants are being watered by using Twitter. We don't want that here. So, if you understand Twitter, as we move forward, just a quick review of a hashtag. A hashtag is that symbol that looks, sometimes Indonesian people, we call it pagar. You put it in there. It allows you to organize your data and have people search on it. The hashtag is the key for Twitter. Why am I picking on Twitter? Because I'll show you how we get $1 million with it, with no investment, but we have to move there. But you have to understand about hashtags. Basically, is you put a pagar in front of anything. Your name, your product. Once people search on it, that's a free resource that's there while you sleep, while you work. It's always there. That's why we like Twitter. Hashtags can occur anywhere in a tweet. And if you're trending, if you're becoming very popular, that's how people are going to find you. You need to understand a hash. A little bit more. Just don't spam with them. Don't put more than 3 in a tweet because people get annoyed. But that's the basics of hashtags. Just as long as you know it helps you people find you. Here's where we get to the money. So it's kind of important. A lot of people don't use Twitter for making money, but there's a strategic approach to using it. For example, tonight, when you see our success story, we talk about products and sales promotion, how we made money with it, how we took on big competitors. I run a technology company in SME, and I'm pushing around established players that have been here 20 years in a niche market. They were making supernormal profits when we walked in on the scene and took it from them. An example of supernormal would be they would be making 100% markup on some of the infrastructure they were selling. And we took that away from them by using this openly. We flew in under their radar, found our niche. We started tweeting with their customers. We followed them. We current potential customers. We followed them under the product and promotion and sales. We linked the online promos, and we checked the replies and answered questions. We started producing a better wheel. So we talk about how to use it, and this will be on our website. These are the generic strategies. If you understand the 5 forces frameworks of Porter and management, we basically took out 4 of them with no money. They spent millions of dollars developing the market. We came in with no money and took it over from them. And we're not talking small change. Mr. Philgo was talking to me earlier, saying pretty soon if we hang around in this industry, I'll have to be out of the small and medium enterprise committee because of what we did. But again, it's just real world meets the street. And this again will be on our website. One way to measure what you're doing with Twitter is a free tool called Clout. How you're influencing people. It measures your score based on network influence, amplification, true reach. It's a free tool. As you use Clout, you can see who's retweeting your tweets, how many times they've retweeted. Very, very important for your product and service. Again, its cost is free, so it's a valuable tool out on the internet that nobody's using for our industry, small, medium business side. Another example would be SEO and SEM. If you haven't heard these terms, you probably should. Besides using social media, small SEO and SEM, search engine management and search engine optimization, are 2 ways to get your information out there besides using social. These help you get your pages located. And I'm not trying to show off, but if you Google me, I'm the top, just using simple free tools out there for providing my good and service, which is technology. I come in ahead of 619,000 other people. I'm the top ranking out of the other 619,000, using strategies that are available to all of us, using the cloud, using SEO and SEM. But at least tonight, it's not a class on SEO and SEM, but making you aware that these tools are out there. And if you start knowing in the game, that's 90% of the battle to take on a bigger competitor in our niche. Now, here's a success story. And in 2009, this is a real story based on what we did here in Indonesia. In 2009, there were 2 companies dominating the MFT, which is the Managed File Transfer Marketplace. That's a banking-to-banking transfer business. Managed File Transfer provides audited transfer. So if I send a file to you or you to you, I can follow it from whoever transfers internally to whoever receives it externally, securely. They were in the business in Indonesia for years. They were making $40 million a year in the industry. The companies were experiencing supernormal profits at above 100% margins just for selling. They didn't have any tech support sales here. They only had sales, no tech support. And getting software and hardware into the country was hard for people in our industries. Proof of concept was taking a long time, and the market conditions for 15 years. Remember the bus that was going on a different path? I'm in the IT business. So I would ask you, if a major player stopped selling hardware to me in the IT business, would I be worried about it? In this case, if I took, based on this scenario, no. Because because the player that I took on refuses to sell to me anywhere in Indonesia because I took away his cream of the crop. So using the strategies that I showed you earlier, the clouts and the stuff that you can download, the segmentation of your marketing using social media, you can do it also. Here's again, the market conditions were long. And here's how we beat them. We did competitive analysis using Quarter. We tweeted openly with their clients. We attacked them where they live at no cost. We came in as SPS Technologies. We weren't hiding, but we came in under their radar. They were making $40 million a year this year. They were making $28 million 2 years ago. They made 17. So they thought Indonesia was always theirs. We took them on with a local company. They said, who the heck is SPS Technologies? So we kind of smiled. We did it Indonesian style. We started SEO and SEM activities to get our search engine placement higher, which takes a little bit of time. We built capacity. I built skills. I put people on the street, technical. We brought in old line and new line marketing. Old line, you can call me anytime. I'll show up at the door and do a sales pitch. We brought in new line marketing, which is SEO, SEM, clouds, Twitters, and all. We made a lot of information from the Twitter. It cost us the time to do Twitter. Okay, we brought in 100 competitors as a partner, and we went to market. The 2 competitors that I knocked out, we know them. I just won't mention their names because I don't want to beat up on them anymore. But basically, like this. We took away a $40 million industry from them so much that the 2 competitors merged in Indonesia just to fight with me. And they're refusing to sell me any hardware. So that's okay, I don't need them. I'm buying from their competitors, and my product is about 40% lower than theirs, just out list to list and higher functionality. So the interesting thing is we're taking over a banking segment niche from them. These 2 competitors are worldwide. We're giving them fits here in Indonesia, and they're really taking about 2 years to catch up to me because they have their products inferior, but that's beside the point. But the support here and the way we went to the market in an Indonesian style. We didn't do it, old school. We went to the local market. So that's something to think about. So basically, what we did is, I always like this logic. As you see the old logic, somebody could say, "Perna pikir untuk bikin yang biasa aja," which is, and I guess the best way to translate that is think outside the box. So how we took on the marketplace that we just built a super project, and we beat the market. We took away every game that they had. We beat them on service, we beat them on distribution, we beat them on price, we beat them on product, we beat them on features. So they're having all kinds of hits with me right now. Okay? So that's a quick presentation. I want to say thank you.